Hi all, this is N Samira and today's topic is decision tree induction. Decision tree classifier falls under the category of supervised learning and they can be used to solve both regression as well as classification problems. Decision tree uses a tree representation to solve the problems in which the topmost node in the tree is the root node and each internal node denotes a test on the attribute and each branch represents an outcome of the test and each leaf node holds a class label. And as shown in the figure, the internal nodes are denoted by the rectangles and leaf nodes are denoted by the ovals. So let me take an example so that I can explain the construction of the decision tree. Here is a training set of tuples belonging to the all electronics customer dataset, and where each tuple represents whether the customer buys a computer or not. That's why here is the target variable. It says that whether the customer buys a computer or not. So here, before constructing the decision tree, first we need to prepare the attribute list. First we need to prepare the attribute list, which consisting of the list of all attributes. So here attribute list consisting of age and income, student, credit rating and class. So these are the values of the attribute list. So out of all this, we can remove class from the attribute list. Why? Because this is the target variable here. So no need to keep this particular attribute in the attribute list for the construction of the decision tree. So here the task is, out of all these attributes, we need to select one of the attribute as the node for the node. So here is a node and we need to select one of the attribute as the node. So here in this example, we have selected age as the attribute. So how we can select this particular attribute means that is based on attribute selection process. That is based on attribute selection process. So which in turn follows some attribute selection measure. We have three attribute selection measures: information gain and information gain ratio and Gini index. So we can use any one of them to select the best attributes which can best splits the data set. So like this, here also in this example, they have selected age as the attribute by following some attribute selection process. And that I will explain in the next video, okay? So here, after selecting one attribute as a node, here in this context, we are selecting age as the root attribute. So we can remove that from the list of attributes. And next, once the particular attribute is selected, now we need to observe the number of values of that attribute. So how many values are there? How many types of values are there? Three values are there for the attribute age. That is youth, middle age, and senior. Three types of values are there. So based on the number of types of values present for that particular attribute, the next level of the tree is going to be constructed. So since it consisting of three values, we can make three branches from the node age. So like this, we can make three branches from the node. Okay, this is the first branch and this is the second branch and this is the third branch. So here, initially, this is the data set. This is the training data set D, and this data set is now going to divided into three parts: D1, D2, and D3, where D1 consisting of all the tuples whose whose age value is student. Similarly, D2 consisting of all the tuples whose age value is middle-aged, and D3 consisting of all the tuples whose age value is senior. So according to this, what are the tuples fall under D1 partition? We will go through by considering RID. So here, if you observe here, so here RID 1 is there, whose age value is youth, and 2 is also there, and 8, 9, and 11. So these are the list of tuples which fall under the partition D1. Let us consider D2. So D2 consisting of the list of tuples whose age value is middle-aged. So I can write 3 here and 7 and 12 and 13. Similarly, all the leftover tuples are fall under D3 partition. which consisting of the A's value as senior 4, 5, 6, 10, 14, right? So like this, the data set is divided into 3 parts. So here, in this first branch, the first part D1 is associated here. So after this process is completed, we are going to enter into the next level. This is the next level. Let's consider this is the level 1 and this is the level 2. So here again we need to go through the attribute list, and we need to select one of the attribute as the again root attribute, because we need to consider again in this next level, again we are going to construct a subtree. So we can imagine that this particular node is the root node again for the particular subtree we are going to construct. So here again we need to go through the attribute list, and we need to select one of the attribute as the one of the best attribute as the root attribute. So here in this example, student is selected as the root attribute based on some criteria, that is attribute selection methodology, right? So here, since student is selected, we can remove the student from the list of attributes. So here, after that, once the particular attribute is selected, next what to do? We need to go through the number of values of the attributes. So if you observe here, student consisting of how many values? Student consisting of 2 values, no and S. So accordingly, only 2 branches are grown from the student. So this is the no branch and this is the S branch. So accordingly, again here D1 dataset is divided into 2 parts, that is 2 partitions, that is D11, and here this particular partition is D12, right? This is D11 and this is D12. So what are the tuples fall under D11 means? Out of D1, what are the tuples fall under D11? Whose student value is no, those tuples are fall under D11. So here is the D1 and this is divided into D11 and D12. So here, what are the tuples present in D11? So whose student value is no, right? Here is no, let me change the color. Here is no, here is also no, this is also no, this is also no. And yeah, we only need to consider the tuples from 1 to 8, 9, 11, right? So this is 1, this is 2, and 8 is there, 9 is not there. Yes. So out of all these, how many are there? 1, 2, no need to consider 3 because that is not in D1, right? Here, directly you can consider 8. So these are fall under D11, whereas the leftover 9 and 11 are fall under D12. So after that, like this, you can do the same for the remaining branches also. So like this, the decision tree is constructed. Now, what is the termination process? When we can terminate the decision tree? There are basically three conditions to terminate the decision tree. Let us go through that. The first one is all the tuples in the partition belonging to the same class. So if you observe here, if you observe the second partition D2, here, what is the second partition? Middle S. S is equal to middle S. So if you observe from the data set, all the tuples in the D2, what are the tuples in D2? 3, 7, 12, 13. All the tuples in the D2 are consisting of the class as S class. So here all the tuples falls under the same class, same group. No need to grow the decision tree further. So we can stop the construction of the decision tree and we can attach the majority label. That is what label that belongs to, that we can attach here. So here we are attaching S here. This is one of the terminating condition. And what is the second condition? There are no remaining attributes on which the tuples may be further partitioned. So if the attribute list is empty, since if you observe here we have removed A's here, right? Here we have removed A's, and we have removed student, and we have removed class also, and credit rating also we have used, right? Credit rating also we have used here, and we are not considering income in this example. So here, once the attribute list is empty, then also we can stop the construction of the decision tree. That is the second terminating condition. What is the third condition? There are no tuples. For a given branch, that is a partition DJ is empty. So whenever there are no tuples in a given branch, then also we can stop constructing the decision tree. So here, this is the example of the first terminating condition, and this is the example of the second terminating condition. Because here we are end up with the number of attributes, that's why we can stop the construction of the decision tree by adding the majority of the label to the as a leaf node. So here if you observe in D11, all the tuples of D11 are belonging to the no class only. You can see it from the example. That's why we have attaching no label here. And also here if you observe, all the tuples of the D12 class are belonging to the S class only. That's why we have attached S here. Like this is second condition. And what is third condition? There are no tuples for a given branch, that is a partition is empty. So if at all, actually that third condition is not reflected in this example. So we have also another terminating condition like that. So here, once the decision tree is constructed, what is the next step? So once the decision tree is constructed from the training set, now we need to generate some rules from the decision tree. So for example, this is the decision tree constructed, right? And these are the possible rules which can be drawn from the decision tree. You can observe here. So if age is equal to youth and student is equal to no. So this represents this particular path. If age is equal to youth and student is equal to no, what is a possible class label? That is no. So we can attach no here. Randomly you can check R3. What is rule 3? If age is equal to middle age, then obviously the label is yes. So that is taken from this particular path. If you observe R5, if age is equal to senior and credit rating is equal to excellent, and the class label will be S. So here that is. So like this, you can generate different rules from different branches of the decision tree. So once the rules are retrieved from the decision tree, we can able to classify the unknown test examples by using the constructed rules. So let us consider a test set here. Here we're having some set of 6 test set, unlabeled test sets. We can able to label that. So what is the first example? Age is equal to youth, and here age is equal to youth. Age is equal to youth in the sense you can consider rule 1 and rule 2. And next, in rule 1 and rule 2, we only focus on student. So we no need to go for the remaining tuples here, remaining attributes here. So if age is equal to youth and student is equal to no, what is the class label? Student is equal to no in the sense this is the first rule. So the class label is no. So here the label is no. Similarly, you can go with the fourth rule, senior. If age is equal to senior. So if age is equal to senior, so you can go through these 2 rules. If age is equal to senior, and here we can only concentrate on credit rating. So no need to consider income here, no need to consider student here. So if you go for the credit rating, this is fair. So if age is equal to senior and credit rating is fair, then the possible label is no also. Here also no. Like this, you can able to classify the unknown test example by using the decision tree. So this is all about the decision tree construction and the classification process. And in the next video, I will tell you about the attribute selection procedure. And thank you so much for watching the video. And please like, share and subscribe the channel if you like the video. Thank you.